Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final boarding call and the doors will be closing soon.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is ResortLoop.com, the gateway to the magic. We're continuing our non-Disney show, but we're going to wrap that up today before we get back into some Disney stuff.
Right.
But again, the whole reason for this was some people can't afford a Disney cruise to pair with their Walt Disney World vacation, so maybe Royal Caribbean. So we're going to talk about the second half of our cruise on Oasis of the Seas.
Right.
I always pause because I want to call it Odyssey of the Seas or Oscar of the Seas.
But they do have an Odyssey of the Seas.
I know they do.
But we were on Oasis of the Seas.
We were on Oasis. The first ship, the first Oasis class ship. Strangely enough, it's named that. Anyway.
But we're back home now.
We're back home. So where we left off on the last show, we were still on the cruise.
Right.
But now we're home.
Right.
But we were going to talk about the Aqua 80 show in the, is it the Aqua Theater?
Aqua Theater.
Nice. Aqua Theater, I want to start off, beautiful, comfortable seats, but it's not really a big venue.
I think they said it seats 700.
700?
It does. They said it seats 700. But on a ship that holds 6,700, not a big venue.
I would not have guessed there were 700 seats there.
I heard it holds 700. Now, the seating of this, it's in the very aft of the ship on deck 6. And so you kind of get an idea. I don't know if you can attach a picture on your website so that you can kind of see, or I'm sure you can just like Google it, you can see it. It is, every other row is like a wooden bench seat.
Yes.
But in between those rows are the comfiest beach chair type seatings. And the beach chairs toward the back on the upper tiers have longer legs so you can see over the crowds. But the beach chairs down below have shorter legs, which is genius.
It is.
And they're super comfortable.
I don't know what is the Royal Caribbean chairs. They don't look comfortable.
But they are.
Like I said, our deck chairs didn't look comfortable. Quite
super
pleasant.
Comfortable. We like the half loungers on the Disney ships. We love that. That's why we book an extended balcony.
True.
Just for the half loungers. We love those. And you can find the half loungers on the pool decks at Disney all over the place, not just on the extended verandas.
Right.
So you can try them out anywhere. But the very comfortable chairs, we loved them.
Yes.
It was fine. But anyways, we sat not in the back, but kind of toward the back half of the theater, had great seats. I think it's kind of like a Disney theater. No matter where you sit, you're going to have a pretty decent view.
Yes.
Except if you're standing in the back, you kind of have to be in the theater in order to get the whole picture. And in order to see everything, you have to be pretty much in the theater. Although I'd heard reports some people were standing on deck 7. There's kind of a balcony overview, and they said they had pretty good views from there, but they had to stand pretty much on deck 7 if they were overlooking there. But they do have some rooms called the Aqua Theater Suites that you can see the show from their rooms from your own suite.
Yes.
So those were out of the Scott family budget, so we did not. But again, you have to make a reservation in order to see the show. It's not like a Disney ship where, I want to see the show after dinner, before dinner. You show up at the theater, you walk in, grab your seat. That is not the case. You have to have a reservation. And officially on the Royal Caribbean website, the shows open up for reservations 30 days before your cruise. Ours happened to open up 45 days before our cruise, and I happened to see it so that we could grab our show times. Thankfully, I saw that. But I would recommend to anybody, even if you're not on social media, to get on social media just for that, just for your cruise to join. We hadn't cruised Royal Caribbean in 15 years because we've chosen Disney for the kids clubs that are just outstanding for the last 15 years while our kids were still that age. But I don't know that we could have navigated Oasis of the Seas without the cruise group on Facebook.
Yes, it was very helpful.
Oh, extremely, extremely helpful.
Yes.
So we were able to get that. But again, Disney, unless you are in concierge and you see the concierge lounge and that type of stuff, Disney does not differentiate between someone who's in an inside cabin and someone who's staying concierge throughout their ship. They just don't do that. Royal Caribbean absolutely does, because when we got to the Aqua Theater, we could choose pretty much any seat we wanted, except for they had several rows blocked off and they had crew members standing there with signs that said reserved, and those were reserved for people staying in the suites. And so they had to show their C-Pass card, which is a different color than everybody else's card, and they were allowed to choose the seats that were reserved for them.
Yes.
So I don't know. I know they're paying more than what we paid to stay like in a regular balcony room.
Right.
But I just don't care for that at all.
I know there's different ways to people pay for perks. We all know that, at
Right.
Disney with extra magic hours, morning, evening.
Right. And I
this
guess
is
that's just
Royal
what Royal's
Caribbean's-
doing.
Yep.
But I don't know. But Disney, at the same time, if you stay on Disney property, in the morning, everybody gets that perk.
Yes.
And if you stay at a deluxe, then you get the evening perks.
Right.
And not everybody gets that. And I do have kind of a problem with that, where it used to be everybody
Right.
that was staying on Disney property got the evening perks as well. I don't particularly like that Disney took it away from everybody in the evening. So I do kind of hold that against Disney.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Right.
It just is kind of not. I don't know. Some people save a long time, and some people will save a lot just to be able to stay in an inside cabin to be on a cruise, and then to have that. But anyway, as long as you have your reservation, you're guaranteed a seat.
Right.
If you were unable to make a reservation because you didn't know you needed reservations, and a lot of people we found on the cruise did not know you needed a reservation because they had not cruised in a very long time.
Right.
There is a standby line, and some of those people had been in that line an hour before the show started. Once it's 10 minutes before showtime, they will open up that standby line, and then they could go on in and get seats.
Right.
And I'm not sure if everybody in the standby line got a seat,
I don't know.
but I think a lot of them did. Our show didn't seem to be totally full, so I think a lot of them did, but there were still a lot of people wandering around looking for seats.
Yeah.
Pretty much as the show started. So probably maybe not all of them did get seats, but it was the most outstanding show I have ever seen on a ship.
It was a fantastic
It was
show.
amazing. You and I grew up in the 80s with the
Yep.
80s music, which is phenomenal.
The show was in our wheelhouse.
It was totally in our wheelhouse. The performers were just outstanding. I can't say enough good things about them. There was, they danced, they did synchronized swimming, they did diving. It was just phenomenal.
They did high wire, low wire. I don't know what that bouncing was on the wire. That looked painful.
Oh my gosh. Yes. It was great.
Right.
It was fantastic.
And then how they managed to coordinate all that with the different technology going on in the pool there, and the lights and
Right.
everything was just amazing to think
It
about
was.
as you're watching how they're pulling this off.
It was absolutely amazing. The hours and hours and hours of rehearsal that had to have gone into that show.
Oh yeah.
And especially the safety issues that would go on with a show like that.
Oh yeah.
So it was pretty great. So really, really enjoyed it.
It was great. I will say, when getting back to the theater seating, if you're in the first, maybe 2, 3, 4 rows,
right.
think of it like SeaWorld Splash Zone,
Mm-hmm.
but I think you're going to get more like Cali River Rapids wet from what I saw.
Oh yes.
Those people in the front rows, I think there are already towels down there for
yes,
everybody.
they put towels on the seats
So-
there for them already.
So yeah,
You will get wet.
You will get wet.
We did not opt for the splash zone.
No, but you will have a great time watching that show.
Absolutely. It was just phenomenal. They got a standing ovation at the end. I can't imagine that anyone who came to that show wouldn't give them a standing ovation at the very end.
I really can't.
Just the energy from that show.
I was just going to say, I can't think of another show I've seen that was as high of energy as that show was.
Right. Yep. Absolutely phenomenal.
Man, wow.
So, yeah, it was great. I wish we could have seen it again, but I just didn't want to stand in the standby line and fight for a seat. So we had, the next night we did have dinner in the main dining room. And when dinner was over, we did walk down the boardwalk to the very end, and we did watch the last 30 minutes of the show.
Yeah, it's about a 50-minute show.
Yes. So we kind of shuffled back and forth between where we could see the divers and where we could see the performers either in the pool or, dancing.
Yes.
And so we got to see a little bit of it again, hear the music. So that was good.
It was very good.
So that's good.
It was very good. So moving on, let's keep moving forward.
Okay.
The next day was our
Coco Cay.
The Perfect Day at Coco Cay.
Yes.
Very presumptuous title, but hey, you're on a cruise.
Right. Why not?
Why not?
Their pier is beautiful. I love the pier. How it's so colorful.
Yes, it's a very beautiful island. I know
it really is. We will preface this whole thing by saying we are not beach people. We would never in a million years take a week-long beach vacation.
Oh, no.
So take everything we say with a grain of salt because we are not beach people. However, we got off the ship. We wanted to see the island. It was hot. It was humid. Two things that we do not enjoy. So Royal Caribbean, unlike Disney, makes you check towels out. So we had to check out a towel. And when you're done with it, you check it back in. Or they had towel stations around, like if your towel was wet, you could exchange your wet towel for a dry towel. And you could check out more than one towel if you wanted to, but however many you checked out, you needed to check them back in. And if you did not by the end of the cruise, you were charged for those towels. And they were not anything special, so check them back in.
Ugh.
So
again, just gather up the towels. They're either going to be on the island or on the ship.
Exactly.
No one wants to take those towels home.
No, they weren't that special.
No.
But whatever.
Ugh.
Anyway, they were blue and the regular bath towels were white. So it's not like I don't know, but it's always been Royal Caribbean's thing with the towels. So anyway, they have several different beaches there. They have Breezy Bay and Chill Beach or Chill Island.
South Beach.
And South Beach. We opted for Chill Island because it was kind of the closest one to the left when we got there. There are trams that will take you to the different beaches.
Yeah.
We kind of looked. We didn't really see like where the tram stop was, so we just started walking.
Yep.
And Chill Island was the first one we got to. Now, there were two ships in port that day. Oasis. Let's see how me say Odyssey now.
I know.
Oasis of the Seas and Serenade of the Seas. We didn't get off the ship till like 10 because we just slept in and kind of took an easy morning. Because I'd read things that said, when you get off the ship, doesn't matter if there's two ships in port, plenty of beach chairs, lounge chairs, umbrellas, all this stuff. And probably maybe had we gone to a beach further away from the pier, that probably would have been the case. We walked a very long time on Chill Island before we found loungers and an umbrella.
Yeah, but we did find a couple.
We did. And actually, there was several once we got way, way down there.
Right.
So that probably is true. Just be prepared to walk. I did not find the loungers very comfortable. I don't know about you.
It was okay.
They were basic loungers.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with them.
No.
But I find the loungers on Castaway Cay really comfortable.
Yeah, I needed one more notch up, I think.
Yes.
For me. I don't know about you, but
I don't know. I
just sit up a little straighter at one point. But
they were fine, but they just weren't whatever. So we decided to get in the ocean.
Yeah, why not?
Because it was hot and humid.
And the water did feel pretty good.
It did. It was the water was nice. It wasn't too bad. It was I'm kind of like the temperature queen with our pool. So I thought it was probably about 83, 84 degrees-ish.
Right.
So it was pleasant. Wasn't quite as clear as we've been in some for the Caribbean. But it was nice. We were just kind of hanging out, talking, and a couple other groups got in that just had no sense of personal space. I'm like, do you see this entire area here? They did have it like roped off where they didn't want you to go any further.
Right.
I'm like,
you can't go to France.
There's nobody out here. Do you see this wide open space here?
They were in our bubble.
Oh my, get out of my personal bubble. But they were in our bubble. And then the lady decides to float on her back and she's like floating into your back. And I was like, there is so much space out here.
Right.
That's after a while, we're like, okay, we're done. So we get out of the ocean and we got back to our loungers. And I don't know, there's lockers there that you can use for free. We just left our stuff in a beach bag.
Yeah,
and
no one needs our stuff. Wants our stuff.
We didn't take anything major.
No.
Left our phones up there. Maybe we're naive, but nobody messed with our stuff.
No, nobody did.
Whatever. So got dried off a little bit. They have several places around the island that you can get stuff to eat.
Yes.
We opted for the Snack Shack.
Because we heard great things.
We did. You got a chicken sandwich.
Yes.
And then we split mozzarella sticks, and then I got a funnel cake.
Great.
So we'd heard great things about this chicken sandwich.
It was supposed to be like infamous.
Yeah.
Like the world famous
Snack Shack chicken sandwich.
Snack Shack Perfect Day Cocoa Cake Chicken Sandwich Extraordinaire. It was all right. Probably a little bit better than a McChicken sandwich from McDonald's, but what wouldn't be?
Yeah.
But I mean, it had good flavor. It was very thin. It was crispy, so if you like crispy, there's that going on. I don't know. Maybe you need to use certain condiments to get it to where it's.
Well, someone said
perfect.
you have to have like the secret chicken sandwich. You have to get the mozzarella sticks, put the mozzarella sticks on it, and then the marinara sauce on top of that. And that's supposed to be the perfect sandwich.
Well, I guess we did it deconstructed.
I guess so. I thought the mozzarella sticks were pretty good.
They were fine. I mean, they were
good.
I think, just your basic heat in the oven mozzarella sticks.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, not that they weren't good.
They were good.
Yeah.
But the funnel cake.
I want one now.
The funnel cake was really good. Something very unusual thing you don't typically see on a cruise ship or on a private island. Very unique. And I always like a good funnel cake.
Yes, you do.
It was delicious. I enjoyed it very much. And it was small. It was like a dessert plate like that you would serve like cake on at a birthday party. It was like that size. So it wasn't like a huge funnel cake that you get at a fair. So it was just literally a perfect size funnel cake.
Yes, I
loved it.
Didn't even look super messy.
No, it wasn't. Little powdered sugar on it. Perfect amount. I don't like a lot of powdered sugar. Perfect amount.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Loved it.
There you go.
So then after that, we had been there for maybe like 2 or 2.5 hours-ish or so.
By the way, if I did something wrong with the chicken sandwich and you people, somebody out there has had it and love it, let me know what I did wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Curious.
It was our first time there. We don't know. We don't know what we're doing. So we decided we gave up after about 2.5 hours. We're like, okay, this was fun. Now we're done.
Yep. It's time to go back.
Because like I said, we are not beach people. So we were done.
And it was starting to look a little...
yeah.
It was rain in the distance for a long time.
Well, it rained that morning. Actually, it stormed that morning. And then it rained a little bit. So then we got off. And it was kind of looking cloudy again. So we got back. We could see rain way in the distance too.
Yeah.
So we found the tram stop then. We did find it.
Did we find the stop or did the guy just kind of drive?
No, it was a stop because there were benches there, remember?
Yes, there were. Yeah.
There was an actual tram stop. So we got on the tram. Very nice little tram driver. However, I will say the one thing, they are not Disney tram drivers. They kind of look around, is everybody on? Okay, and they go. It is not it's all clear. You
all clear, honk, honk.
No. And I was a little afraid. There was like some people that were trying to like hop on the tram as it was moving, and there's not like a tram lane like at Castaway Cay where they make sure people are not walking. It's just the tram just goes.
The tram did not yield for people on scooters either.
Oh no!
If you're on a scooter on Castaway, Perfect Day at Cocoa Cay, keep an eye out for those trams because they're not going to stop for you.
No, I wasn't. I mean, I
yield for you. Yes,
I'm sure the tram drivers do this a lot. I don't know, but I was like, oh my goodness. So then we passed, we saw where South Beach was and where Breezy Bay was because he made those stops and then made the stops back to the pier where the ship is. It was the final stop. And then they actually have golf carts that will take you back to the ship if you don't want to walk down the pier.
Which was very nice.
Mm-hmm. So we decided we needed to get our steps in because
we needed steps.
I ate a funnel cake.
So mozzarella sticks in the world famous Perfect Day at Cocoa Cay chicken sandwich extraordinaire.
So we did walk back to the pier rather than take the cart. But they're super, super nice. Like, come on, I'll take you. I said, thanks. We'll go ahead and walk. But they're more than willing to take you. So it was very, very nice.
Yes. So if you're a beach person, I think there's enough to do.
Oh my goodness, yes. There's a splash pad for the kids. There's the largest freshwater pool in the Caribbean is there. A swim up bar. All kinds of things. Our friends went to the pool for a while and they went to South Beach and, they like that kind of stuff. They had a great time. There is some pay things that you can do on Cocoa Cay.
I was just going to say, let's talk about just briefly some of the things you can rent. Rent on the...
Okay. Like Castaway Cay, you can rent a floating mat. So you can do that if you'd like to. I think it's $17, run a floating mat for the day. They have a water park that has a very high tower that you can do. Now, all these, I would give prices, but they change depending on the sailing, depending on what ship you're on, depending on the season that you're going. So just kind of have to look them up. People felt that the prices were outrageous compared to other water parks that you can do in the States, for like an all-day pass. So they kind of thought it was a little bit outrageous for a couple of slides that it wasn't like a full water park compared
but you're in the Caribbean, so there's that.
Yeah. So if your kids like that, and anyone who enters the water park has to have a pass. So you couldn't just do like a pass for like your 10 and 12-year-old kids and then go in and supervise them. You would have to have a pass too.
Right.
So the other thing that is pay is they have a helium balloon ride that you can do. And our day was really nice. So the balloon went up. They say a lot of times that excursion gets canceled.
Very similar to the balloon at
Disney Springs.
Yes, I almost want to say Downtown Disney. I'm like, get with the decade, Tim.
Yeah. So that was nice. We got to see it go up a couple times. That was really nice. It was cool.
It was very nice.
So, and then the other thing that is a pay thing there is the Royal Caribbean Beach Club. So that was like, for our sailing was over $200 a person. And you have private beach access to an infinity pool, and then access to a private lunch that included filet and lobster. So if that's your thing, then, you can do that as well. We did not do that, but a lot of people do, and they enjoy that. So I wasn't sure. I think there was other lunch options on Coco Cay.
Oh, I think there was.
There was a buffet somewhere.
Yeah.
I think. But I will say, I liked the food on Coco Cay better than Castaway Cay.
Whoa.
I'm not a fan of the food on Castaway Cay. I never have been. I've tried different things. I've tried the burgers. I've tried the hot dogs. I've tried the chicken. I've tried different things. I've just never been a fan.
Yeah, and you're not a barbecue person
I am
either.
not a barbecue person at all.
And the Castaway Cay does have good barbecue.
I know. It's just, I've never been a fan of it.
But if it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
It isn't. But I thought the mozzarella sticks and the funnel cake, give me a funnel cake any day. I am now your number one fan.
There you go.
So I did really enjoy the food on Coco Cay. Overall, I would say if you are a beach person, you will be more than thrilled going to Coco Cay. You really will be. If you're not a beach person like us, you'll be like, this is very nice. And you will enjoy it for several hours and then get back on the ship.
There are also a couple other options, though, you can rent on Coco Cay. Beach bed.
Yes.
Tell about the beach bed that we almost got.
So you, like Castaway Cay, you can rent a cabana.
Yes.
And their cabanas hold 8. You can rent, I think, pay for 2 more and have it up to 10, which would then come with an attendant who will bring you food, bring you drinks, bring you whatever that you need. And those would be on the beach. There's also over the water cabanas, which actually come with like a water slide as well into the water for kids and adults, whoever would like them. Those are a little bit more expensive, but we saw those on Chill Island, thought those were pretty cool. That's always an option.
Right.
But a less expensive option is called a beach bed. And we saw those as well. We had initially, before we left home, rented a beach bed on South Beach.
Yes.
And it's like, I think it's bigger than like a double size bed, but maybe about that size-ish.
Yeah, double queenish.
Maybe queenish size bed. It's kind of low to the ground. And it comes with like a roof kind of protection from the sun.
Yeah, it's like a canopy
kind of a
yeah.
canopy type bed. It does have 2 sides that have curtains to it that you can draw for privacy or, again, block out the sun. It comes with 2 loungers and 2 floating mats and a cooler that has 4 bottles of water in it. And then your towels are already there on the bed waiting for you.
Yes.
And it holds up to 4 people. And they're pretty strict about just 4 people there. If you have more in your party, then you would need to rent another bed or just not have them there.
Right.
Maybe find loungers on the same beach. And we had decided that that would probably be a really good thing for us to do since we are not beach people. We knew we were not getting off the ship early. We thought that would probably be a good choice for us. Well, then the more we thought about it, we thought we are definitely not going to be out there very long.
No, we're not going to be out there all day.
And for our sailing, a beach bed on South Beach was $200. And we were just like, to spend that kind of money for a couple hours, we just thought this is not
necessary.
It's not necessary.
No.
So we went to Shore Excursions and asked, and they're like, well, it's within 48 hours. You really can't cancel. And we were like, we completely understand that. No problem. They said, we'll put the bed back out there in case somebody wants to snap it up. If they do, we'll refund your money.
Yes.
But if not, we can't. And we were totally fine with that. No problem. We had our money back within the hour.
Yeah, it was really fast.
It was like within the hour, 2 hours maximum.
Yep.
It was
like, check
so
on the
fast.
app. The money will go back on there if we were able to.
Yeah, if the money will go back on there. We'll give you a call. It was like, I don't know, almost the next day before they called. It was a long time, but we knew that we'd gotten our money back really, really quickly because they are very, very popular.
Yeah, I was pretty confident it would be okay.
I was too, because people check all the time because they want them.
Because it's one of those things that sold out really quickly.
Yes.
Before the cruise also. So.
Yes. Because they were gone before I was. And then all of a sudden 8 of them opened up. So I snapped one up very quickly.
Yep.
And I'm glad that I did in case we'd wanted it. But with us traveling with our friends, we were 5.
Right.
And so I'm like, well, when I found out you couldn't just drag another lounge chair over, I was like, well, I'm not doing that then. So, because we couldn't all be together.
Right.
So that was another reason.
Right.
So.
Exactly. So.
Yeah. And then the other reason we decided, because we knew we would have to go back to the ship early before we needed to actually be on board, because we would need to get a shower and get cleaned up, because we had our escape room that day.
We did.
Because that was another thing that sold out fairly quickly on our sailing.
Mm-hmm,
and so
yes.
we could only get it for our Coco Cay Day. So we did it in our escape room, which was called Mission 18.
It was fantastic. It wasn't the escape room that you think if you're trying to get out of a room.
Right. It was different.
But it was a bunch of different kinds of puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically in a mission control area.
Like NASA.
Yeah.
So
NASA.
the whole premise is you're trying to launch the rocket, the Apollo rocket for Apollo Mission 18. That was the whole premise of it.
Right. We're in like a mission control launch room, all the different stations, Capcom, just like Apollo 13. Much smaller. You had to search the room for clues, because we don't want to give too much away here. We had to find clues to, we'll just say, initiate all the different things. Then everyone had to kind of work together with other clues, find other switches. And eventually, because, it came down to math. I wasn't the guy for the math.
Fortunately, our friend was.
He was the math guy.
He was the math guy.
So we launched Apollo 18.
We completed the mission.
We completed the mission. It was very fun. It was a thinker.
Yes.
And it wasn't.
I almost got stumped on our part.
Oh, yes.
But there was a poster on the wall right by our station. But for the life of us, I was like, I can't figure this out. I mean, we were, oh.
I don't really want to talk about it because I want people to go and enjoy it. So
exactly. But I mean, still, that was like one of the most fun things that I think we did on the ship.
It was. It would make me want to do other types of escape rooms.
Oh, I would. That was our very first time doing an escape room.
Yes.
I would love to go and do another one.
Yeah, so it was a blast.
It was really,
it was a blast. Get it? Blast.
So, and there was like another couple that did it with us. And then a lady who was a solo traveler was also with our group.
Yes, it wasn't just the 2 of us. It was us, our 3 friends, and then the other 3 people. So.
Yes. Yeah, there were 7 of us all together.
Yes.
So, but yeah, it was super fun.
It was.
So it was really good. And we had 50 minutes to do it. And by the time we launched, we still had 6 minutes and some seconds left.
Exactly.
So it was great. We had a really good time.
We did. So I would recommend that if you're into that kind of thing.
So then they went and had their dinner. And then we had our dinner. That was the one and only time we went to the main dining room for a full dinner.
Yeah, I got to be honest. The main dining room,
meh.
The couple of times we went there was very
meh.
That's not even it was underwhelming. It was noisy.
I think some of it was you and I were at a table for 2. It was just us. And I felt very overlooked. She attended to the tables that had larger people, there were like larger tables that had more people at them. We were her afterthought. I don't even know who her assistant was.
Yeah.
The only time I saw him is when he brought me the wrong drink.
Exactly.
I was like, okay.
He was like, here you go. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr.
Yeah. And then when I pointed it out, it was the wrong drink. She apologized, told him, she said, well, I'll talk to him about that, and never offered to bring me the correct drink.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, let's just go. I'm done.
I was watching that. I'm like, really? No one's going to offer to get you the right
No.
drink that you wanted.
She asked me,
Crazy.
the dessert was terrible. It was dry. It was supposed to be strawberry shortcake. And it was white cake with a strawberry gelatin in between the layers. It was so dry, so gross. I took one bite and I'm like, well, maybe the second bite will be better. It was not. And so I didn't eat it. And she asked about it. And I'm like, oh, I just didn't particularly care for it. But thank you, whatever. Disney, they would have been like, oh my goodness, let me get you something else. What can I get you?
Yes.
Nope. Just took it away.
Yep.
Same with my main course. The chicken that I had was like a fried chicken thing, whatever. I ate about, I don't know, a third or a fourth of it. Not much.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't care for this? No, thank you. Sorry. Boom, took it away. Did not care.
There was
So-
nothing elevated about the food from that
No.
dining room that I could see.
Mm-mm.
It was the most basic.
It was Bob Evans Foods, what it was.
I will say it was July 4th when we were
Mhm.
there. And allegedly it was like a holiday menu,
Yeah.
American type foods. I got like a barbecue brisket that was not great.
We ate at Portside Barbecue, and the brisket was phenomenal there.
It was good
What
there.
happened?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how you lose flavor going down a few decks.
I don't know either.
And then the sides of it were like your basic coleslaw. This is
Mhm.
dinner, remember? This is not.
Right. It's dinner.
And what else was even on there? I was like, the coleslaw wasn't that great. I'm like,
I
what
don't
is
know.
wrong that you can't get this right?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
And I had a baked potato soup that was flavorless.
It didn't even look like baked potato soup.
It did not. It looked like some sort of baby mush. I don't know. And it had a weird green color to it for being baked potato soup.
Oh yeah, my dinner was the brisket, the coleslaw, and frozen French fries. I mean, they weren't frozen, but I could tell they were just like your
They
basic
came
French
right out of a
fries.
bag. They
Right
were
out of the
not
bag.
fresh fries at all. Nope.
So
Because you make fresh fries, so
I
we
do.
know what fresh fries are.
right. Anyway, so
Meh. So we decided that we probably wouldn't go back to the main dining room.
no.
And I think that's one of the reasons why Royal Caribbean upsells their specialty dining so much, and they don't concentrate at all on the main dining room.
Well, I guess plus there's probably a certain percentage of the population they're not really foodies.
No.
They don't care how good the food is. Like, give me something on my plate that I can eat and get back out there and
I guess.
climb that rock wall.
You know what? And if that's you, then you were probably thrilled with the food in the main dining room.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, if that's you, then great. But if you've been on other cruises that the food's been really good, then this is not for you.
Yeah, because the
Go to the
food's-
specialty dining rooms, you'll be thrilled.
if the food's just okay, you probably make just okay food at home. On your vacation, I want something I can't have at home
Right, exactly.
for the most part. Like I had a lot of shrimp this
hmm
this vacation.
We went to Izumi's.
Oh, yes.
So that's their hibachi and sushi restaurant.
Yes.
Now there was a meal.
It had the biggest steaks I've ever seen used at that kind of restaurant before.
Those
ever.
fillets had to have been 5 inches thick. They were so thick. I was like, oh my gosh, blew me away.
They were thick, they were dark, the rice, best rice I've ever had.
That fried rice was phenomenal. We raved about that fried rice the rest of the cruise.
We did. He threw down so much garlic with that it was unbelievable. And
It was phenomenal. So if you are on a Royal Caribbean cruise or you're planning one, and I think Izumi is on many of their ships now.
Yes. I don't know if it's in all of them, but it's on a lot of them.
It's on a lot of them. Pay the extra. Go to Izumi. We just had the most phenomenal chefs. The chef and the waiter, both of them phenomenal. A lot of times when you go to a hibachi place, the waiter, after the chef shows up, the waiter disappears.
Right.
Not ours. He kept coming back around, refilled our drinks,
Yep.
brought extra sauces, did everything that we needed. Phenomenal.
Wonderful.
This cruise,
Make sure you make a reservation for that also. 'Cause
Yes.
There's only 3 hibachi tables in the
right,
rest. On the Oasis of the Seas, who'd have thought that Izumi has 3 hibachi tables?
right. Tons of sushi tables though.
Yes.
Tons of them.
If you're
But
into
only-
that.
Yeah. But only 3 hibachi tables. And we went late at night, which was fine because that's the day we also ate at Portside Barbecue, and we ate a later lunch, and then we had our aqua show, and then
Our evening was all over the place.
it was crazy, but it was fine. But yes, we had so much fun. That was great. It was a phenomenal chef, phenomenal show that he put on. It was just really, really fun. So And then we had our 2 days at sea.
Yes.
Our day 6 and day 7 were at sea.
Always loved the sea days.
I do too. They're so relaxing. You can be busy. You can not be busy. Our friend's daughter, she ice skated a couple times. And I don't think she did ever get to rock climb. The line was always super long. So she got in line, then she got out of line because it was just too long.
Right.
We had our dinner at Chops, day 6.
Love Chops also, by the way.
That was really good. The only thing I got there that was not tasty that I thought was going to be tasty it was like black peppered bacon for an appetizer.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be fantastic.
And it came out, it was a slab of fat.
Yeah.
Our friend was like, oh, I think that's more like a pork chop. Oh, no, it was just fat. I was like, okay, this is not good. I don't know it was not what I expected, so I did not eat it. And they didn't make a big deal about it. They did offer to get me something else.
Yes.
But it was fine. There was more than plenty of food coming.
Yeah. Because something, you think being all fat, it would have some kind of flavor.
It did not have any flavor.
It didn't. I mean, I tried it. Our friends tried it at that point. And I was like,
It just was not good.
No.
So the one thing about Chops is everybody orders their main course and then they have different sides, but the sides come out as a share for the whole table.
Yes.
But they'll keep refilling it as many times as you like.
It was almost family style in that way.
Yes, it was. The cheesy tater tots they had, those were really good.
Yeah. Tater tots. They were the size of like the big marshmallows too.
Yes.
They weren't normal tater tots.
No, they weren't small. They were big. They were good.
Like the jumbo marshmallow size.
They had that. I really wanted a baked potato, but I was just too full from eating the steak. The steak was really yummy.
Yes.
And the cheesy tater tots were really yummy. I really didn't need any more carbs. And I wanted to save room for the warm chocolate cake. So I'm like, I can't eat a baked potato, even though I really wanted one. And they brought all the bacon and chives and all that stuff, toppings for the baked potato. But I was I'm too full. So I didn't. But the warm chocolate cake was really good for dessert.
Yes. I had the apple. I had like apple pie desserts.
Mm-hmm.
Three in a row.
Yes, you did.
I had it from the dining room. Surprise, not good.
Yeah. No surprise.
I had it from, we went to Johnny Rockets.
Yes,
that was
Johnny
really
Rockets.
good.
That was I have not had a hamburger, I don't know, quite some time.
Yes.
I like hamburgers. I just haven't had one. It was so juicy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we split onion rings and fries. We each had some of those. Those were tasty. The onion rings were pretty tasty.
Oh, yeah. Those were great.
So your hot dog wasn't quite right.
I don't know. I got the chili cheese dog.
Right.
And honestly, it did taste fine. It was a hot dog on the bun, like a brush of some kind of sauce. I don't think it was chili. And then like the plastic nacho melted cheese on it. But the menu says, shredded cheddar cheese.
Right.
Onions and chili. And
I don't think he understood what you meant. Like what you
ordered
wanted.
the basic thing on the menu, though. I'm like,
I know. I think he thought you wanted something else. So that wasn't quite right. Mine was correct, though.
Don't get me wrong. It was really good.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite what I thought I was going to get. And beverage-wise there, it's a place you can actually get soda.
Right.
You got the regular Coke, I believe?
I did.
And I got the cherry Coke with the cherry syrup in it.
Mm-hmm. So
man,
good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Because I don't drink a lot of Coke anymore.
Right.
Maybe with pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that sugar going right into my bloodstream. It was fantastic. I wanted to climb that rock wall and get in the aqua show.
That would have been good.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, Johnny Rockets was really good.
Yes. I would highly recommend.
Me too.
We didn't do it for breakfast. The breakfast menu is just kind of like the same as everywhere. It seemed like you get 2 eggs, get pancakes, yada, yada, yada.
After the first day, the only thing that we had for breakfast was bagel. And we went down and got it from Park Cafe.
Yeah.
The first day we went to the main dining room and had eggs and toast. The second day we went to Park Cafe and got a bagel. And from days 3 through 7, I'm like, just go down and get it and bring it back up to the room. I didn't even get out of bed.
Yep.
I'm like, we're not huge breakfast eaters to begin with. So I was like, I'm just not doing this. Then on our last sea day, we just ate in the Windjammer for lunch and for dinner.
Yeah.
And dinner was Greek night. Oh, I had a really hard time with that because I'm a very picky eater.
Right.
So then we ended up going back and ordering room service, which there is a charge for room service. It is not free. And they add an automatic 18% gratuity to that. So the $7.95 is a service fee. And then there's an 18% gratuity on there.
Yeah.
So I got rigatoni bolognese, which was not bolognese at all.
No.
It was some sort of dark sauce with some ground meat thrown in it.
We think it was meat. We really don't know.
I hope it was. I don't know. I got some chocolate chip cookies just to have something in the morning before we left.
Good idea.
And I did get cheesecake. Now that was pretty good for room service.
Very excellent.
The cheesecake was yummy.
Excellent. I got actually it was a steak quesadilla, which was actually pretty good. It was better than the quesadillas from El Loco Fresh.
Yeah.
And then I got a Cobb salad, which was okay. I needed something green.
Yeah.
I needed some dark green, so I just went with that.
Yeah. We had El Loco Fresh a couple times.
We did, and it was okay.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty decent. I mean, it's like a little fast food Mexican place.
Yeah.
Good for nachos. And their burritos, I don't think were the tastiest burritos, but their quesadillas pretty good. And their rice was really good.
Yeah, the quesadillas, they were really thin. Burritos were a little dry, but I think maybe you could have opened it up and gone to that little toppings bar and added some cheese and guac and sour cream or something and spruced it up. But
yeah. So not bad at all.
No.
I mean, overall, if you take out the main dining room, I think their food is pretty good. You just have to take out the main dining room.
Yeah, I concur.
So I don't know.
I will say, unpopular opinion, I'm finding out though, I prefer cabanas on the Disney ships to the Windjammer of Royal Caribbean.
Really?
Royal Caribbean, they have a lot of food, but I'd walk by all these stations like there was really nothing that was crying to be put on my plate.
Right. I agree with that. The only thing that I liked better on Windjammer was the salad bar. They had a really great salad bar with a lot of toppings, and they always had Thousand Island dressing out, which is my favorite.
See, they didn't have blue cheese dressing anywhere.
Oh, see?
And I was
different.
like,
So
maybe I could have asked, but you know, it's a buffet. You can't really ask that kind of thing. So
I like that soda is included on the Disney ships.
Yes.
And it's not, I mean, you can get it in the main dining room and you can get it at the specialty restaurants without a charge. But we did find out, like I did order it a couple times, like in the bars and stuff when we go to play trivia. And we got charged 3 different things, 3 different times.
Crazy. And what was in the same location?
Yes.
So I don't know if it depends on the time of the day.
Yeah. I don't know. It was weird. Like one time it was $1.75. One time it was $3.50. And one time it was $4. And each time I literally got a 12-ounce can of Coke with a glass of ice.
Right.
So I don't know what the difference was.
I don't know either.
And I just was not going to go to guest services to find out because I didn't care that much. Because we didn't get the drink package because I'm not drinking that much Coke or that much anything else. So, and then on the last day, we did a really fun thing. We rode Rising Tides Bar. That was fun.
Who knew that was going to be as fun as it was?
It was. It's this oval-shaped bar, which we didn't even know really existed. Our friends were on and they texted us like, hey, come here. You know, we're taking a ride. It starts either on deck 8 or deck 6. Is that right? Deck 6? Deck 5? 5.
Yes.
And it goes up to deck 8.
Yep.
And you hop on and there's like bar stools and little tables and things like that. Couple bartenders and they come around, take your drink order, and it just kind of slowly rises up.
Yeah.
And you enjoy your drink, you enjoy company, and
you can either get off once you get to the 8th.
Right.
Or just hang on
and go back down and stay on as long as you like and whatever. We had a really good drink called a blueberry mojito. It did not have alcohol in it. And it was delicious.
It was very good. So
that was great. And then sadly, we had to go back and pack.
Yeah.
Because our cruise came to an end.
It always ends.
I hate it when it comes to an end. But it did. And we did self walk off. We self-assist walk off.
They call it self-assist. I don't know why the word assist is in there. Just call it self-walk off.
Nobody's assisting us
with anything other than pointing. Go that way.
I will say, though, that they had that process down really easily. There was people out there, crew members, kind of directing us where to go. Yes. Once we were in line before the ship was actually cleared. Once it was cleared, pretty much easy off. Shout out to the ding-dong mother who thought it was a genius idea to give her kid dry cereal in the line, which shut down one of the escalators. So you have all these people trying to go down just one escalator instead of two.
Yeah.
Good grief. Kid couldn't have waited 5 minutes till they got in the car. I don't know, whatever. But we got our luggage. We got through customs, which was incredibly easy. And we were in our car and on our way home, probably 7 minutes after the line started moving.
Oh, yeah, it was not long at all.
Easily.
I will say, if you're cruising and you can manage your own luggage, the self walk-off is the way to go.
Absolutely.
Because it was just, from our room, it was a relatively short walk to the elevator.
Right.
Straight down to the dining room.
Right.
We pulled it through the dining room to the, what would you call it, the gangway.
Track. What was the track? We were on the track for a little bit. The walking track.
For a little bit.
The gangway.
Gangway.
Then you're in the Port Authority building.
Then we walk up to customs.
They don't even look at your passport anymore.
No, everyone's like, make sure you have your passport ready.
Yeah,
There's not even look at it. What do you call it, a duty form or?
Nope, no duty forms, no customs form, nothing. They have you step up. There's like a little camera. They have you look at the camera. I think that verifies who you are.
Scans your face.
Yeah.
They like, get out.
Pretty much.
They're like, exit, all parking is that way.
Mm-hmm.
We go. That was it.
It was easy.
Had to pay for our parking as soon as we got out of the
building.
Yeah, the building.
Yeah, a little kiosk. Parking was really expensive compared to Florida. Be prepared.
And not as nice.
No.
But
hey, our van was still there and it had all the wheels on it.
All the wheels were on it. It started right up.
And away we went.
It was less of an adventure.
And we didn't go through the Holland Tunnel.
We did not go through the Holland Tunnel.
No, we were good. Got home okay. We're good.
Yep.
So it was a great cruise, great week.
It was a good vacation.
And we both decided that we would definitely do another Royal Caribbean cruise.
Yes, I would not do this. I think we talked about this before. We'd not do the same ship.
No, but I would do another Oasis class ship.
Yes,
just
I'd do
not
one of the newer
Oasis.
ones if we could.
Right. So I don't know that I would go. I don't know that I could do Icon of the Seas. I don't know if I would go bigger than Oasis class ships. I would definitely do smaller because we've already been on the smaller Royal Caribbean ships years ago. I like the smaller Disney ships. There's really wonderful things about Royal Caribbean and wonderful things about Disney. It just depends on what you're looking for.
Yes.
But I absolutely would not rule out another Royal Caribbean cruise.
No, I mean, if you wanted to cruise somewhere that Disney doesn't go.
Oh, for sure. Royal's the way to go.
Or you don't want to pay the Disney dollars.
Right.
Or both.
Right. I had a wonderful time. I would definitely say there's not, in terms of friendliness and helpfulness, there is not a difference between Disney cast members and Royal Caribbean crew members.
Everybody was very nice.
Absolutely.
Very welcoming.
And helpful. Can I get you anything? Do you need anything? What can I do for you? Super, super helpful, super, super nice. So I thought they were both trained very, very well. The only thing I thought was lacking, because Disney would have shut this down, was on our second to last night, day 6. We were sitting on the boardwalk with our friends, talking, having a good time.
Yes.
And there were teenagers running crazy through the boardwalk.
They were running amok, amok, amok.
They were pushing chairs around, bumping into people. You know, they were running through. Johnny Rockets was closed. I don't know. I think they were closed.
They were closed.
And
because I would have got a cherry coke.
Yeah, Johnny Rockets was closed. But there's tables outside to sit, and they were pushing the chairs all over the place, trying to get away from each other. And security needed to be there,
rein them in.
Yeah. And they were not. You cannot tell me that there is not somebody sitting there monitoring some of these cameras. Security on a Disney ship, they would have shut that down long before that happened. So there were a couple fights in the teen club where security had to be called. We heard about that. And just little things like that needed to be stopped that Disney would never have put up with in a million years.
Right.
So that would have been shut down.
I think I would like to. The new Disney, whatever that Global Dreams, that new mega ship they're going to be using in Asia. Mm-hmm. I would like to go in there to see how that compares to like the Oasis class and
that would be
moving
nice.
people around, like what Disney's going to do differently or how to manage that kind of crowds on one ship.
Right. There's just a lot of people. The other thing that Disney would not have tolerated for 1 minute is 3 different times we went to play trivia and 3 different times no one showed up.
Oh my goodness.
Twice.
Nuts.
And the thing of it was, we're in a bar. or a lounge area where there was a bartender.
Yep.
And the bartender didn't do anything. I'm like, why did he think all these people were there? He's been on this ship probably for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, he knew what was going on.
He knew why we were there. Like, get on the phone, call the entertainment person and say, hey, nobody's here. Nobody's setting up to play. Should have been here 5 minutes ago. Get somebody down here. And when someone finally went up to the bartender and said, hey, we're all here to play trivia, then he would finally call somebody. So he knew full well how to do it.
Right.
He just didn't take the initiative to do it. So that was disappointing.
Yes.
Because sometimes you were like, okay, I'm going to play trivia now. And then like when this ends, a half hour later, this activity begins that I want to go to.
Right.
And on a ship that big, you better be arriving a half hour before the activity begins or you're not getting a seat. And that's the way it goes on those type of ships. And then the very last trivia that we wanted to play, pub trivia, we're all sitting there waiting and nobody showed up. And we checked the app to make sure we had the right time. And all of a sudden the activity disappeared from the calendar. That was really shady on Royal's part to just let it disappear.
And we do have a
screenshot of it because our friend still had it in her app. Yeah. So she took a screenshot and sent it to me. I thought that was a little shady on Royal's part.
I was looking at mine. I said, mine's gone. Look at yours. And it was there. And then all of a sudden, as we were looking at it, poof.
Yeah, mine disappeared. And she took a screenshot of hers real quick before hers disappeared. So at least have someone have the courtesy to show up and say, I'm sorry, our crew person is sick that's supposed to do this. We're not doing it. Thanks for coming anyway.
Please join us at this trivia somewhere else later on.
Right. Or we could have gone to do something else.
Yep.
Anyway. But overall, what do we give our cruise?
Do we give it a solid 7?
We gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yes.
So, but we would do it again.
And we would do it again. So
absolutely we would.
Wonderful.
So, all right, we're going to end with...
We need to wrap this up, but...
We are going to end with the top 5 most ridiculous, shall we say, dumbest things we heard on our Oasis of the Seas cruise. All right. Number 5.
You want me to start with number 5?
Start with number 5.
I will start at number 5. Coming in at number 5. This is while we're out on Coco Key.
K.
That's right. Perfect. That's not perfect D at Coco Key.
No.
Perfect day at Coco K. We're in the water.
Mm-hmm.
One of those people that were inside our bubble
said,
we need to be careful here. I don't want the riptides to take me out to sea.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Very calm day. The waves might have been 6 inches. Maybe. Ugh. Not to be confused with later on when he said, I thought that somebody else in the same party had said, I was hoping there were going to be bigger waves here. I was hoping to go surfing.
Right. Yeah.
Caribbean surfing. Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was I think it was shortly after that we did decide to get out of the water.
we needed to get out of the water. All right, coming in at number 4.
Woo.
Now, you have to understand the setup. There are 2 sets of elevators. There's 6 elevators on the starboard side, 6 elevators on the port side. They're connected. You can use either set of elevators. There's a walkway from the starboard side to the port side.
Yes. On every deck.
On every single deck. We got in the elevators on the starboard side with 2 ladies, probably in their 30-ish or so. And as the doors are closing, the one says, oh, we're the wrong set of elevators. We're supposed to be over there on the other side. And the other lady says, well, it's not a problem. We'll just come back down and then go around and get in those elevators to go where we need to go. And they did.
They did. That was their...
We got out. They pushed the elevator to go back down, to go get in the other elevator, to go to the exact same deck where they needed to go. They just wanted to be on port side.
Yes. That was fantastic.
Okie dokie. Coming in at number 3.
Number 3.
This one we saw online in the group that we belong to, the cruise group that we belong to online.
I'm going to let you talk about this one because you saw the whole thing.
All right.
And it's fantastic.
I don't know. On Coco Cay, a woman and her daughter had signed up for a shore excursion on Coco Cay. They signed up for the equipment-free scuba diving excursion. Now, I'm not a scuba diver. I've never scuba dived before, but I know that you have to be certified. And maybe I know these things because I teach with a person who is a scuba diver and he talks about it occasionally. Okay. So maybe that's why I know these things. And maybe she didn't. But if you don't know these things, then you need to research stuff before you sign up for things.
Yes.
So she signed up for equipment-free scuba diving. Now, I know that means, A, you have to be certified in scuba diving. B, equipment-free means you are bringing your own equipment. You are not going to be renting their equipment. She shows up with her daughter with no equipment and no certification and was irritated because she was turned away from that shore excursion.
Oh my goodness.
And didn't understand why. Because she had not fully read the description of what she was signing up for.
Right.
Yeah.
It's equipment free. You don't need equipment.
I don't.
You kind of do need to have something.
I don't know how she thought she was going to scuba dive without equipment.
Right.
I would almost understand if she signed up for the scuba diving with equipment.
Yeah.
And then was turned away because she didn't understand she needed to be certified.
Oh, yeah, that I would do totally.
That I would have understood. But to sign up for equipment free, I don't know.
Because you're in international water, you know what the real rules are.
Right. But equipment free? Mm-mm.
All right. I'm going to have you do number 2 also, because you were all about this number 2.
Coming in at number 2. Our first stop was Port Canaveral. These were our very, very sweet balcony neighbors.
They were very nice.
We loved them. We really did. We're sitting on our balcony, watching us pull into Port Canaveral and listening to our very sweet neighbors talk about how we're pulling into Miami.
Let the record reflect they were talking very loud.
Yes. Oh, very, very loud. And they're talking about how we're pulling right into Miami.
Yes, that must be Miami.
I think that's Miami over there. And the other one says, well, I didn't think we were supposed to go to Miami. Well, I'm pretty sure that's Miami over there. And the other one says, well, I think maybe the captain went to the wrong city. And the other one goes, do you think he did that? Well, I don't know. I mean, you're just in the ocean. Maybe he got the wrong port. Maybe we're in Miami. I think you're right. I think we're in Miami. It was at that point that I got up and very nicely pointed out that I'm a teacher and let me show you where Port Canaveral really is in Florida.
I want to say, have you never seen the Golden Girls Open?
Exactly. They were really sweet. They did thank me for pointing out where Port Canaveral really was in Florida.
They really had no
relationship. Idea. They really truly didn't. But they were very, very sweet.
Yes, absolutely.
We enjoyed very much them being there, being our neighbors. So they were sweet. All right. And the number 1 most ridiculous, dumbest thing we heard on our cruise.
I love this one. I'm going to take this one again.
You take it.
While we're at perfect day at Coco Cay.
Yeah.
In the water.
Yes.
One of the other people inside our bubble.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this water? It's very salty. Have you tasted this? It's very salty.
Yes. True story.
The ocean water apparently was salty for those of you at home.
Yeah. The ocean is salty. True story.
Anyway.
That was really then when we decided we needed to get out of the water.
Get out of the water.
Because I was going to hurt somebody by then. So, because I'm like, I can't take it anymore. We got to go.
Right, right. Oh, my goodness.
My goodness.
And that is our Royal Caribbean cruise on Oasis of the Seas Odyssey.
It was a good cruise.
Should have been the Odyssey of the Seas. But you get where I was going. It was a sojourn. A massive trip that was a lot of fun.
We did. We had a great time.
So, once again, I'd recommend it. You'd recommend it.
Absolutely.
If you'd like to book it, call us, ResortLoopTravel.com. Everybody, I'm Tim Scott. You can find me on Facebook, the website, ResortLoop.com.
See you, everybody.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote or for more information visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.